Hi guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Today is another episode of Create This Book 2. Today is also a collab with Bellamena, so make sure to check out her channel in the link down below and stay tuned for a page that we are doing the same theme on later in the episode. I don't have much to say. We are really winding down at the end of this book. I say that every single time. And just enjoy the video. Create a status. I am feeling blank. Oh, where'd that paper come from? That's kind of random. Actually, the only reason that paper flew in there was that I could do this horrible transition, so sorry about that. So yeah, I put a piece of paper on there because you can kind of see some things in the last page on the other side, but that isn't really the point. I'm going to be drawing myself. I know, very bold for me. I figured now is as good of a time as ever to try a self-portrait since the prompt does say to create a status about how you are feeling. And considering I'm not very good at drawing people in general, and this is my first self-portrait since like the 7th grade, I'm pretty proud of it. So I still haven't answered the question, what am I feeling? Why is my face looking like that? And to answer your question, I am feeling overwhelmed. Oh no, so much stuff. So I guess the reason I was feeling overwhelmed in this particular moment, and kind of now actually, because side note, this video is like super late when it comes to editing, and it has to go up at a certain time because it's a collab, and I am like stressing to get it done. So maybe this is just accurate for me all the time, I don't know. Basically, I have just semi-recently started going back to full-time school, and I'm also on the track team, so I have practice every single day, and I have a bunch of other things on my plate, such as YouTube, and just everything is just kind of piling up right now. So this page doesn't need much explanation when it comes to the art aspect. I just used colored pencil for the entire thing. However, I do want to real quickly, while I'm Mod Podging this, talk about the lips. Normally, I'm kind of afraid of drawing lips, so I just shy away and just draw like a little smiley face as lips, as you can see. However, I actually drew the lips this time, and I'm kind of proud because I think they look decent. But yeah, that's that page, and I really like this one. I think it turned out really cool. Create integration. Integrate this line into a design or a drawing. This page is actually going to be the page that I do a collab on with Bellamena. We decided on the theme black and white for this page, so I decided to draw a skyline because I've been really wanting to draw a skyline on this page pretty much ever since I saw the prompt. But we're not going to get on with this page until I tell you guys to go subscribe to Bellamena and go to check out her channel and her videos because she is super amazing in doing this collab with me. And also, you're going to want to make sure that you don't miss out on her part of the collab because she is doing a Create This Book page as well with the same theme as mine. So I knew I wanted to do a skyline on this page. I thought it'd be super cool if I used the line as a skyline and then reflected the same buildings from the top onto water down below. I always love pictures that look like that, and I always thought this would be a super fun idea. So I spent a heck of a long time drawing out all these little buildings and then reflecting them onto the water below, and then I went over the entire thing with my micron, which also took equally as long. I wasn't really going for a realistic look, more of like a geometric kind of style, and I think I achieved that. I actually really liked the way it turned out. And for the stuff that was along the water, I actually ended up using a gray marker, which I also think turned out good once I added the watercolor over top of it. Finally, we can start with the water. So I'm bringing out my watercolor set and I'm using the black and the grays. And I'm actually using this water brush because you can squeeze out the water as you do it and have really good control. So obviously it looks a little whack, but once it dries, as you can see, it turned out pretty nice. Let's congratulate me on the first actually decent transition I've successfully completed. Thank you. So I knew just the watercolor as it wasn't really enough to give the definition of the water that I was going for, so I ended up using a bunch of colored pencils to add some more texture, I guess. That was me dropping my new Jelly Roll pen, which I was super excited to show you guys, and I wanted to add some little accents into the water. However, they like barely showed up, so that's a drag. But anyways, all that was left to do was to color in the sky, and I just used a plain black Prismacolor colored pencil and tried to press as hard as I could because I wanted to get a solid black background without using any paint. So yeah, once I finished coloring that in and using a colorless blender to smooth it out, I also used some white paint and added some fun little stars up there just to give it a little extra something, and I actually love the way this page turned out. I think this is really cool for the black and white theme, and also a reminder to go check out Bellamena's channel. She is amazing, and yeah, let's move on to the next page. Create a knife painting. Paint a picture using a plastic knife. So here, let's bring out the knife. There it is. Just a standard plastic knife you would use to eat, I guess. And we're making contact, and we are painting a sky-like background. So I had this idea to like paint a sky and then paint some birds on top of it, but it was really like fate in my head. Like I really didn't know what I was doing or what my idea really was. I was honestly just going with the flow and seeing where my knife took me. This part of the painting was actually super fun and easy. I was just taking various shades of blue with the knife and just creating an abstract sort of sky background, and it was really easy and super fun to do. I also added some dark blue at the bottom of the page, which I later regretted doing and covered up, but I really just wanted to make it look as dynamic as possible, and then I added some clouds on top of it. I really love this prompt and prompts similar to this where you're given like a certain way to decorate the page, because number one, it gives you an excuse if it turns out bad, and number two, you have lots of creative freedom to really create whatever comes to your mind. Then I made the bold decision to start painting in the little bird silhouettes using some black paint and the tip of the knife, and it actually wasn't as hard as I thought, and I think they turned out pretty cool. Then I actually used the back of the knife to create this little, I don't know, dotted line throughout the birds. I don't really know, I was using it as filler to be honest. And then I added some Mod Podge on top like I do for almost all of my pages. This is the only thing that I technically didn't use the plastic knife for. I cheated, you caught me. But yeah, the Mod Podge just would have turned out super uneven and bad if I would have used the plastic knife, so I'm totally fine with it. Here's the final thing. This one was actually tons of fun, and I'm really pleasantly surprised with how well it turned out. The last page for today says create a repurposing. Give bits of wrappers and or packaging a new purpose on this page. So I went on the hunt. I used Powerade bottles. I ripped off the label from that. I went inside my trash can. I grabbed whatever I could find from there. My recycling bin. I went into the downstairs recycling bin. I dropped this bottle. Yeah. I did it all just to get wrappers and little pieces of packaging to use for this page. So now that we've got some trash, time to decorate a page with that trash. So I basically just cut up little bits of every single thing that I got to get little pieces of the logo, things that I wanted to use on the actual page. And now we have smaller bits of the trash. Woo! So my idea for this page was to literally just redraw the items and then stick the logo on as a bit of the item. However, I had to think of a way to incorporate that into an actual design, so I decided to draw a little cash register at a grocery store and then put all of the items on the little conveyor belt thing. And I decided to call the store KT Mart. Get it? Because Katy, yeah, okay. So I drew all these items the best I could. Obviously the proportions are going to be off a lot because I can't draw them on their actual size, and the bits of wrapping is going to be the actual size since it's the real piece of the wrapping. So I just kind of had to draw around it, and now I'm going over it with my micron liner again. Most of these items is stuff that I would probably eat and enjoy. I have a bunch of grocery store items and then a random Nike shoe in the corner. I know that's kind of random, but I don't know, I just had a Nike logo and I wanted to use it, and then I started coloring this in using my color pencils, and I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed with how the counter color came out. It just wasn't as solid as I was hoping, and I tried to fix it later by going over it a few more times, but the coloring of this is only really mediocre. It's not great, but whatever, it does the trick, and I do like the way the coloring came out. And this was a lot of fun, just recreating all these products in drawing form. But now is the really fun part because I get to add the logos in. So I'm just sticking some glue onto these little logos and then adding them throughout the drawing. here I am doing the finishing touches such as coloring in the little KT Mart logo and adding the date, which you may notice was actually yesterday because I was, again, very behind on this video. And yeah, that was really all that there was left to it. Just add some Mod Podge, and here's the final page. This one was a lot of fun to do, although it took a long time, and I think it turned out really cool, and I'm just glad I got this page done. I think it looks pretty fun. Thank you guys so much for watching these pages. I really hope you enjoyed them. I had so much fun doing them. Here is the shout out for the last video. Thank you so much for watching my videos and for commenting down below. All you have to do to get a shout out in my next video is comment down below, or new featured edition, DM me on my Instagram. And you have a chance to be picked. I'll see you guys on Friday for a new video. Bye!